With credit cards and payday loans being so easily accessible, it's really easy to get in debt. But getting out of it, nothing easy about that, sister. In fact, that's where things get incredibly difficult. If you're up to your ears in debt and you're looking for a way to get out, you're looking to escape, this is the video for you. Okay, before we get started, there's probably a few things I should mention. As strange as it is to say, not all debt is bad. Debt can actually be split into two categories: good debt and bad debt. I know, not really innovative names, are they? Good debt is debt that you take on as a means of investing in your financial future. For example, taking out a mortgage is a way of investing in an asset, i.e. that property, and you hope in the long term that will appreciate in value. Appreciate means go up. I thought I should add that in case you're not up on the lingo. Another form of good debt is taking out a student loan to pay for your university degree. It might be a bit controversial for me to say this, but the student loan system, at least in the UK, is built actually in the favour of the students themselves. Taking on that debt might be a good way of you gaining a qualification, which could then lead to a potential high-paying job in the future. So in cases like that, there's actually benefit to taking on this debt. Granted, there's no hard and fast rule, and this all depends on the individual themselves, so don't take it as a given. Conversely, bad debt is a drain on your wealth. These are cases where taking on the debt has no financial benefit to you in the long term. Here we're talking about credit card loans, payday loans, car loans, things that if you don't pay off as soon as you can, they build up in interest and they spiral and just get worse and worse. For the remainder of this video, we'll be talking about how to deal with bad debt. Good debt has its own set of rules and considerations. It isn't as simple as just saying, let me pay down this all as fast as possible. If you want to see a video on good debt, maybe like, maybe subscribe. I'll get around to it eventually. Okay, so now that we've got all the jargon out of the way, how do you actually deal with paying off bad debt? Well, today we're going to be going over the debt snowball method. It's been made popular by a dude named Dave Ramsey. You might have heard of him before. He's got a YouTube channel. He's basically just a shouty man who tells people off for their really poor financial decisions. But I'll give him credit where credit's due. I'll leave his link in the description. Check him out. As you can tell by the tone of my voice, I'm not really the biggest fan of Dave Ramsey, but the debt snowball method is definitely an exception to the rule. Okay, tell me what the debt snowball method is already. You just keep yapping on. Okay, hold your horses, we'll get to it. Go grab a piece of paper, maybe an Excel spreadsheet, just something you could take notes on, yeah? And I'll add some editing goodness somewhere around the screen that will give you some hints while we talk, yeah? Step 1. List all of your bad debts in order from smallest balance to largest. Step 2. Commit to making the minimum payment for each of those bad debts. The system really won't work if you can't commit to making the minimum payments. Step 3. Do a bit of budget wizardry to find out how much extra you can put towards paying off your smallest debt. If you're really struggling with this, check out my video on 3 ways to save money. Link up there somewhere. Step 4. Make the minimum payments and pay down your smallest debt as fast as you can until it's paid off in full. Step 5. Once you've paid off that smallest debt in full, take that minimum payment and any additional amount that you're putting towards it and then move that across towards paying down your second smallest loan. Step 6. Keep doing this until you've paid off all your debts in full. In theory, once you work your way towards the larger debts, you'll actually have quite a bit of money to put towards paying it off. It'll actually grow quite quickly. You'll see what I mean when you start doing it. It's kind of like a snowball rolling downhill. The cool thing about this method is that by paying off the smallest debts first, you're actually giving yourself quick wins and the gratification that comes along with that. These psychological factors actually play a huge part in whether you pay off your debt or not. It gives you the impression that you're making progress and actually motivates you to keep going. That's it. I mean, it's honestly a fairly simple process. It's actually really effective, but only if you stick to the plan. So make sure you stick to the plan. Don't be down in the comments complaining that this didn't work for me. Stick to the plan. It will work. Trust me. And who knows, maybe once you've paid off all your debt, you can put that extra money towards building up your emergency fund. Link to the video up there. Oh, and one thing before you start throwing all this money towards paying off your debt, talk to your debt provider. Make sure they're using the extra money that you're putting towards your debt to pay off your principal, i.e. the accumulated debt. Sometimes they're really annoying and they use that money towards paying off your next minimum payment. You don't want that. Make sure you're paying off your principal, don't get caught out. Okay, finally, the system only works if you can afford to make the minimum payment. So what happens if you've been made redundant and you can't afford to do that? What do you do then? Well, I would suggest you talk to your debt provider. Actually, a lot of the time they can give you a lot of leeway. In the short term, they might be able to pause your payments. Maybe you can set up a debt payment plan with them. A lot of the times they actually want to help you. So get in contact with them, ask them what your options are, and figure something out there. Another really good resource is the Citizens Advice website. Citizens Advice is a charity that's designed to help people with money and debt problems. There's a lot of information on the website. I'll link it down below in the description. Check it out. Like I said, really good resource. Okay, so that's it for this week. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll try and help out as much as I can. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you want to see more like this every week, subscribe down below. This has been Jayan, here to make sure that your money matters. See you next week. Nothing easy about that, sister. I can't click. Can't click. Why can't you click? If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll try and help as much as I can. Oh, jeez, I burped. Oh, multiple burps, double burp.